All right, awesome. We are now live with my guest today. Hello, everyone. My name is Kirk Roldan, and I'm with Ronald Osborne. Hello, brother. It's been a while, and thank you so much for coming in. And to everyone who's watching right now from the Philippines, Australia, or USA, hello. So we have 10 viewers. Wow, that's instant. Thank you. Thank you. So, by the way, guys, welcome back to another interview series from the World of Search Conference and as our Search Engine Mastery. By the way, guys, this is the show for SEO, VA agency, and this was launched to deliver high quality insights, best advice, and tips from the top experts to the community. So, in today's episode, I'm with Mr. Ronald Osborne. Hello,
Hey
Mr.
Kirk, how you doing, brother?
Kamusta? I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for coming in. I know you're really busy, you're traveling, and then, but you still have time.
Thanks for having me, mate. I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, all right. So Mr. Ronald, he got this agency, right? The Osborne Digital Marketing, and you are helping or evolving in small business game for over a decade now.
hmm
It's a long time. Wow.
Mm,
And you are
longer.
also yeah, you're taking businesses from small startup to multi-million dollar.
Yep.
Imagine that. So how many teams you have right now, by the way?
How many teams or how many people do I have?
Yeah, people you have.
Right now, if we include everyone across all of the businesses, it's
Mm-hmm.
148. Um,
Sheesh, that's a lot.
yeah, it's 148 across all of the companies. If
Wow.
you talk about ones that are essentially employed by me directly, right
Uh-huh.
now we're sitting at nine. So we're
Oh,
sitting at
all
only
right.
nine. Yep.
That's really great. So I'm very curious to learn more about your journey. Can you please tell me more about you and what you do?
Yeah, sure can, Kirk. So, look, man, if you want to make a long story short, so
You can.
left school, joined the Australian Army. So I did
Oh
that. My
wow.
father, my uncle, they were Special Forces 2 commandos, and I was like, some of the stories they had, it was just sick. Like jumping out of helicopters, running down buildings in the CBD. I was like, that sounds pretty good. I'd like to do that. Blow up things, man. What boy doesn't want to blow things up?
All
So
right. Okay.
so yeah, man. I started looking into that. I got into that. I was good on a radio, so I went in as infantry, and then I was good on cryptographic equipment, all of the radio comms equipment in there. So
Mm-hmm.
they put me into the courses to do all of that. I ended up traveling around everywhere and being attached to do
Oh.
all these weird and wonderful things. The Australian government started rolling out the new technologies for the army. I was on that team. Like all of it was awesome. It was really, really cool. So then I left the military, started a telecom company. I grew that
Mm-hmm.
from a bloke that it was me, and I
Okay.
had a bloke working for me that I served with in the army and my younger
Okay.
brother, and then had 30 employees by the end of that at the 7 year mark. So yeah, that was crazy, man. Installing telecom cables all around, doing that type of thing, civil construction work, electrical work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, all right, enough's enough. Like to be honest, I'll be honest, man. I always wanted to make $1 million, right? And I remember the
Okay.
first time I made $1 million, like I reckon, this close to crying. Like no joke, man. I was full depressed. I was on the couch alone, like because I'd always been chasing the work. So
Yeah.
wherever the work went, my team went, I went. Like I was just getting a property here, getting a property there, and just
Mm-hmm.
bouncing along. And I was like, this is shit. I was just like,
That's right.
this is shit. Like, what's the point of having the money if you can't do anything you actually enjoy? So yeah, man, I was seeing someone at the time, moved to Russia. I lived in Russia for a couple of years in St. Petersburg there.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. That was very different for me. All my family thought I was going to die when I was over. My mum was almost in
Mm-hmm.
tears when I left. She's like, "You've been a good son. I'll always love you." But yeah, it was a good, man. Awesome part of the world. And then I moved to the Middle East. So I spent some years moving across the Middle East. And then I try to come home Christmas every year. So I've returned home now. I'm back in Australia right now, but I'll be actually leaving to go back to the Middle East on the
Okay.
28th of January.
Wow. What a great journey. So
Yeah.
you've been doing a lot of things before you achieve this 7 to 8 figures with your I know
Yeah.
with your bank account, and you're doing a lot of things SEO as well, right? Agency. And
Yeah, I
before that,
started when
you
I was
have
in Russia. Yep. Yeah,
okay,
hardcore. So what happened predominantly was when I built the telecom company, I had a lot
mm-hmm.
of blokes started with army blokes. They were like, Aussie, how did you build this? They're like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, how did you do this? It's got to be a joke. So,
Okay,
so all of a sudden, I just started helping my mates, and I was just like, listen, like, look, we got to get more leads in. Like the reason you're not comfortable to hire, that was the first problem we had at like a plumbing company that I was
so
in.
that's the starting of your career in SEO, or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
met this
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was back then. It was like shit. How do we get the phone to ring? Because
okay,
we're at the point where so he had two apprentices, but
okay,
he wanted to get on an actual full time plumber, and he just was sitting there going, "Man," he's like, "We're looking at the numbers," and I was like, "Dude, you need that phone to ring more."
true.
And I was like,
Hmm.
"How do we make the phone ring more? What do we do?" That's how we stumbled upon SEO. And then the thing that really, really locked it in for me, it was always like a side thing. It was always like it's just part of the process. It wasn't a priority. Was when I got to Russia, I met a bloke, Daniel Koropov, his name was.
Okay,
He had a massive SEO agency in Russia, and he just really locked it in because I saw the money he was making. It was insane. And I was just like, oh, you can make all that money from SEO? Like we're generating a couple of $1,000s a month from it, like nothing compared to what he
yeah.
was doing, bro. So like he was flying back and forward from Moscow every week, like nice
Wow.
cars. His missus was a judge, like you got to have money to have all that sort of stuff, bro. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, it was it really opened my eyes. And that was when I was just like, right, let's lock in SEO for the
Mhm.
next couple of years.
So how is SEO in Russia right now? Are they still
Uh,
really good
I,
compared to
I don't
other
I don't
countries?
do it. No, I don't do it in obviously it's Yandex predominantly over there. Everyone doesn't trust Google.
Mm,
Like
mm,
everyone's like
mm.
unless they're a Westerner,
Okay.
no one uses it. It's all Yandex. Very different, bro. It's all about power. So main thing like in Russia, when I was there, it was just power. You just get
Power.
links. It doesn't matter what kind of link you get. Doesn't matter where that link's being pointed to.
Oh,
Just
really?
about power. Yeah. Good old days.
Yeah, good old days. That's true. So I really like our topic right now because after you mentioned that one, I really stumble upon these questions that I have for you because there's also a lot of people like they want to grow their business but they don't know how to. They
Hmm.
also don't know what success mean to them, and also if there's an opportunity for them to earn money while becoming a digital nomad. So for you, brother, what does business success mean to you, by the way?
To me, it means the ability to look after my family and the ones I love. Be able to give back. Obviously, I'm quite religious, so
Mm,
obviously give back and spread the wonderful world of God. It's That's important. Like I think if you everyone has their own definition of success. So that's the biggest thing. And like there's some people out there that are happy to be a nomad, but the reason for it is perhaps freedom. So they don't care about
yeah.
like what they're doing, but they want to get over to the Philippines like where we were,
Mm,
like it's because they want to be able to live on the beach, mate, like and just drink
yeah.
from coconuts. They don't need to be earning tens of thousands of dollars. But then
True.
I've got mates that it's all about the money. They don't care about anything else. And you're like, bro, it just depends. I think the biggest thing, if people want to achieve their own version of success, just sit down and be like, what makes me happy? There's obviously the caveat. There's what makes you happy and what puts food in your belly. You've got to be smart, but the happy medium is where it'll work out well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because you also mentioned earlier that you've made a lot of money before, you have a lot of properties, but you're not happy with it. So now I know that you're happy, or for you, the success means you have a good family. You're taking care of
Mm.
them. They're eating really nice food that they like, and yeah, that's also the reason why when we first met in Manila, and I really like what we discussed there. So thank you so much, by the way, for coming in our conference, mate.
It was awesome, bro. It
Oh.
was awesome. Yeah. Look forward to next year. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So after achieving a lot of success for you, what was the biggest challenge in growing a business?
That's a great question. I'd say, Kirk, like probably for me, it was a sacrificing. It was quite hard. So, uh, like at the start, I realized in my head, if I wanted to be successful, I have to give
Mhm.
up everything. And I'm not talking like give up, like TVs on Friday night, it's give up your Saturdays, give up like I lost my girlfriend of 5 years when I first started my first company. Yeah, like we were
Mm.
together for 5 years. Everyone was like, you guys will get married, have multiple kids. Nah, the business, like I did, man. I worked too hard. But that's what it took. And I figured
Okay.
that out early on. It was like the hardest thing that I had to accept was it's like, this is going to consume all of me. And it did. But at the end, you come out all right.
True. Wow, I like that. No, you mentioned about giving up everything, but because
Mm.
other people like for them to get those results, they need to provide those things to them. But for you, you need to give up those things. So right now, you become a successful by doing that.
Had to, bro. Had to.
Yeah. So for you, what's one mistake you've made in business that taught you a valuable lesson? By the way.
Yeah, make sure no matter who it is, they don't just come work in your company. So I hired this, I can't drop names, but
Okay.
I hired someone to run the civil construction side of my company.
Okay.
There'll be people out there that will know who it is, but I hired this individual. This individual assured me that we'd be able to win all of these contracts. So basically, rebuilding power stations and stuff like that. So literally, like substations for power stations. We looked
Mm.
into doing all of that, and everything was looking good. Everything was working well until I basically got him. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get him to build out that side of the company, and it all went kaput. And I was like, where did I go wrong? And when I sat back and realized, I was like, I hired a mate instead of hiring someone suitable for the job. And when I got someone in, I spoke with a bloke that's been in the civil construction industry for 25 years, building substations, all of that. And he was just like, Aussie, mate, what needs to be done here, you don't have the team for. Like, you need another 5 guys. You need this truck. You need that truck. Because I went out and bought two trucks, was it 2 excavators? I can't remember, like trailers, more vehicles. I hired 6 extra people, like all of it, and it just was a nightmare, man. We didn't execute on it. And I've never made that mistake. That was my biggest, it was my biggest
Mm.
heartbreak mistake because, like it really hurt that my friend did. At the end of the day, he walked away from it. He was just like, this is too hard. I've got to walk away. And I was like, bro, you're leaving me with it. It's like, sorry, man, I got to think about my mental health. And I was like, all right, dude, you've just left me in the hole hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you
Mhm.
say, like, yeah, it was nuts, man. So hurt my heart a lot. And then it also hurt me financially. So that was the biggest mistake I've ever made.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it
yeah,
hurt me.
for you, what's the best lesson for that?
Best lesson is stick to not your processes, but stick to your gut.
Yeah,
Trust your
yeah,
gut. Trust
true.
your gut, because if now going forward with people, like some people are weird, man. Like I work with people, like people don't trust easy. I like trusting easily. And then as soon as someone gives me a reason not to trust them, halas, like it's been shown that I shouldn't trust them. That's how I operate. And I think some people get in the business world, they get too much where they're caught up and they're like, I've been burnt in the past. I can't be burnt again. It's like, but
Oh,
then you've
yeah,
missed out on all these awesome opportunities.
that's true.
So, yeah, that's how I look at it, man.
Thank you for sharing that wonderful advice. So, yeah, since our topic is all about digital nomads, I'm very curious and interested knowing your daily routine. No, can you share us what looks like?
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, first thing for me, wake up, we'll do pray. So, pray in the morning, first thing. Then I'll try to go out in the backyard. I ground. I get on the full like Gary
Oh,
Becker 10x, yeah. So
oh,
I get out, ground, do the Wim Hof breathing, meditation, try to do a bit of meditation. And then you'll be like jumping into work basically. And it just depends what's on, man. I'm normally pretty flexible. Everything changes for me. I try to do if I'm working with someone, let's say like maybe I'm consulting with someone, then I might
Okay.
spend the time going out there and consulting with them, or via this consulting with them for the day. However, if it's just stock standard day, you're running through what needs to be done. So structuring the team. I have a system that's integrated very similar to Elon Musk's style of
Wow.
operations. Yeah, I like it. I like because I like having the feedback directly from individuals. The army taught me a lot of things, but it also taught me that the chain of command is absolutely a terrible idea for seizing initiative. It did, man. Like it's seizing initiative is how you win wars. It's how you win in business. So, and the only way you'll find out like what's going to work is by speaking to the boots on the ground. So that's something that I try to do often. Like it, like I was just setting up a mates. Like we're looking at structuring his company a little bit more.
Okay.
And I was telling him like my team have all my WhatsApp. They don't run through Asana. They don't run through any basic ops. Like when a task is of urgent priority, hit me up on WhatsApp because I'll get to it like that. You hit me
Mm.
up on one of the like on basic ops is the thing we use. You hit me up on that. I'm going to be sitting there going, okay, I'll see it in 4 hours. I'll see it in 3 hours. Like, no. Let's move quicker. Hit me up on WhatsApp.
All right. All right. That's really great routine, mate. Thank you for sharing that. No. So, in terms of managing multiple people, because you mentioned you have a lot of people working for you,
Mm.
so I'm also sure that you have a better processes, system, SOPs, for every thing that you are doing. Like you also have multiple businesses, right? Like
Yep.
your agency as well. So, wow, I can't imagine like doing a digital nomad thing and then traveling a lot, and then you're still earning, no, and be successful.
It's hard, man. I'm not going to lie. It's all up to God. God gifted
Uh,
me with ADHD, brother. That's how I get it done.
oh, all right, okay.
Yeah.
So for you, what's inspired you to become a digital nomad?
I didn't want to be poor, bro, to be honest. Like I didn't like it. I grew up, we grew up in pretty humble beginnings.
Okay,
So like I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that, you couldn't have this or you couldn't do that. So I started working when I was younger. Like I started doing the paper round when I was 9 years old. So just
okay.
delivering newspapers in the morning before school. Stupid because I was falling asleep at school, but alas, what do you do? Um, yeah, I just always am driven by the fact that I want to be well off, and well off to me is not like I'm not a greedy. You'll never see me in a Lamborghini. You'll never see me. The most expensive car I'll own, brother, is a Toyota Sahara. That's it. You're like, that's it, man. Like I'm not that guy. I'm just not that guy that likes I like nice things, but I don't like the shiny things. It just doesn't make sense to me. I could help so many brothers and sisters out there,
Wow.
spread the Ummah out there. It's like, you know what it's like, brother. You can help people when you got money. You can do those kinds of things. So it's a lot better. That's what really motivates me. Make the money, then you can just help a lot more people.
Make money and help more people, and that's
Yeah.
also what I like about you. Yeah, because I saw a lot of successful agency owners as well online and also offline. Like they earn a lot of money. They show a lot of luxuries that they have, the Relo, Rolex, and everything, fancy cars,
Yeah.
showing more money in bars and everywhere. So, but you are different. Like instead of showing that, better to help more people, which is what
It makes sense, man. I
Yeah.
got my Garmin Rolex on right now, bro. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
just practicality, brother. Like that's the biggest thing is like practicality. And I think in the world, if everyone helped everyone out, like there's nothing wrong with looking after your family. There's nothing wrong with earning a lot of money. I just think
Mm,
like I just hope and pray that those individuals maybe like God for me is what grounds me a lot. Obviously, my faith grounds me a lot.
mhm.
As if I didn't have that, when I was going through the army, I'll be completely honest. Like I did go away from God a lot because I was like, hey, like, how can there be all these bad people in the world? And there's a God. I was full like that. That's how I was. And that was when I went down the destructive path, man. That was when it was all about the money. Like I said, I got myself in that situation where I've made my first $1 million. And it's like, I felt soulless, brother. Like I felt soulless, and it was like, oh, okay. And then I started working my way back to what matters. Oh,
Mhm.
hello, everything's easy now.
Yeah, sure. So for you, because we have like how many viewers we have? We have 52 viewers from Facebook profile, Instagram, YouTube. So thank you so much everyone for watching. So because we have a lot of viewers here, some of them they are my friends who's also very motivated and also into God, Christians as well. So like, is that for you? That's also the reason why you achieve this lifestyle that you have, or this success that you have, because of following your faith, right?
Yeah, God, yeah, 100%, bro. Yeah, yeah. I'd be lost without it, man. Like it's for me, it's very important. It is. Like I think if we had a lot more God fearing people in the world,
Hmm.
alas, the world would probably be a better place. You know, like
Yeah. So for because you mentioned earlier that I don't want to become poor, right? That's also the
Mm,
reason why you you motivated enough to become a successful person.
yeah,
So because there are also people that they are satisfied with what they have, like they can eat three times a day, they have this house but that big. So why you are achieving more from that?
to be honest, man, because I want a big family. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Inshallah, I get 10 kids. I'd love to have 6 sons, 4 daughters.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
straight up, man. Like straight up. That's inshallah. That's the like inshallah. That's what God blesses me with. But yeah, I'd love 6 sons, 4 daughters. So I look at it like, all right, well, the sons,
Got
if
a
I have
big
six,
family, mate. Uh-huh.
yeah, like if I've got six sons, all right, I've got to make sure that they've all got their own little businesses and all that sort of stuff set up, so they can
Hmm.
run into their own little things or work together. And then obviously the daughters, I want to make sure that they're good wives and everything like that, and they're established as well. So
Sure.
yeah, I think you got to make a bit of money to sort of make sure that they're supported.
That's true. So how do you balance work and also travel as a digital nomad?
Oh, that's a great question, man. I, to be honest,
Hmm.
not healthily. like, like I'm heading off next week to Egypt, right?
Okay.
And dude, this week it's just like work, 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 work. I always try and have a couple of days like where I don't do anything the first few days of getting there. I've learned from flying a lot. Ground yourself. Big tip to everyone out there, all you legends watching us right now. When you get somewhere and you feel like you're suffering from jet lag, take your socks off, your shoes off, go outside, stand on the ground for 30 minutes. Might sound hippie and nonsense, but I swear it's going to help you cure your jet lag.
Mm.
So that's something I try to do every single time, man. And that's something, but the preparation, brother, I'll normally work for like a week straight where I'm just like,
Oh,
go, 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 so I can just relax. I get there in, if for instance, I get in on, what was it, Wednesday, I leave on Tuesday night. And then, like, I won't be speaking to anyone from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then Saturday, I'll probably check my emails.
that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow your advice.
It helps,
All
man.
right.
I'm telling you, brother, it helps.
All right. So in regards to that question, how do you manage productivity like while you're constantly working? Like you mentioned earlier, you travel then work. So how you manage uh productivity while constant moving?
To be honest, man, not too. It's not something I've struggled with, to be honest. So I'm kind of that guy that's just like it needs to be done, so let's get it done. Um, the way I try to manage it is like I try and front load a lot of things. So that's why like I'll work that week straight. Like it's just work, 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 work. Then I travel. So then that it just gives me a bit of a breather. So then that way, like
Okay.
it gives you like a bit of a reset. So you'll normally have a couple of days from once you land, you can just chill. And if you feel like working, you
Good.
feel like working. I don't normally travel like back to back to back to back. It's just not me. I like I'll go somewhere, I'll normally be there for a couple of weeks and then I'll bounce again. So, and it'll work the same way. Like when I was living in the Philippines, obviously, it was the week before I came back to Australia. I
Uh-huh.
just worked my ass off, mate, the week before, got back to Australia, and then just chilled for a couple of days, and then you get back in the rhythm over here.
That's perfect. So
Mm.
another continuation question, like you do a lot of things. You have family, you have a lot of kids, you have business. So how do you avoid like burnout while working remotely or constantly working?
I don't have any kids yet, unfortunately, but soon,
Ah,
bro,
so that's
soon,
the plan.
inshallah.
All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
soon, inshallah. Yeah, yeah.
uh,
It's time now, man. I've got the money in the bank. I'm ready to go.
all right.
um,
Okay.
so
Okay.
how do I manage burnout? Like, that's a good question, Kirk. I don't know, like it's a hard one for me because I'm kind of like it's one thing like I learned from the army is you never know when there's going to be another opportunity. So like I kind of just jump at things and jump at everything I possibly can. Now, sometimes it does land you in a sticky situation where you are overworking, but I always find you every single time I've put myself in that position, I regret it whilst I'm going through the struggle. However, every single time in my life when I've looked back, I'm like, damn, I'm glad I did that. Like I've never regretted it. That's why I've always had the attitude make money in my 20s and in my 30s like I'll live and spend the time with my kids. That so now I'll start to slow down a little bit more. I'll probably only be working maybe 6 hour days going forward when I'm in Egypt, but it'll be more so the higher priority stuff. So less priority stuff I'll stop doing. The higher
Mhm.
priority stuff, cool, I'll look after it.
Thank you. Thank you. We have Yusuf. I find it hard to take anyone who shows off seriously. It comes across as vain.
Yeah, exactly.
Inshallah, may bless you and give you a loving and abundant family. So we his question about when it comes to boosting productivity in your business, was it is a result of trial and error, or did you gain insight from books and put them into practice?
That's a great question, Yusuf. So for me, it was a bit of trial and error to begin with. Where I was different, so with the telecom company, I'll start with that example. Where I was different was that I incentivized my team. So, and I, every one of my companies, like we do this. This is the structure. So
Okay.
the telecom industry is a notoriously cutthroat, low profit margin industry. However, my company was constantly doing 25 to 45% profit. So it was ridiculous. The employee average wage in the telecom industry was 50,000. My
Okay.
highest earner was doing 213,000 so a year. So like, and that was just an employee. He was technically making more money than me. So he was going nuts. And the way that happened was because I realized that when you start to incentivize individuals, especially for what they desire, things will align a lot better. So if you're looking at boosting productivity in your business, what you can start looking at is, all right, what's the driving force behind the productivity? It's your
Sure.
team. Is that team aligned with the way you like doing business? So, for instance, again, could you incentivize them? So, I don't know, let's just keep it on the topic of SEO. Like, let's just say create pieces of content. So, could they create 10 pieces of content that are fully optimized, squared away? Now, the dangers of doing this is obviously people will start using AI content and it'll just get a little bit messy. So the way you can make sure that you still stick to quality is set a buffer where you pay them their salary no matter what. So you're giving them,
Sure.
let's say their wage would normally be $1,000 for the position of content creation. Let's just say you're
Okay.
giving them $500. So they know and you know that they're making $500. But if they do the job right and well, then they get $1,500 as an example if they're that good. So that's something that you can do that will negate the possible negative effects too, mate. I hope that helps.
Thank you for that answer. We have Erwin. What's the easiest online business for beginners?
That's a great question, Erwin. That's a great question, man. Are we saying, Erwin, are we saying like right now, or are
Yeah,
you
right
thinking like
now.
right now?
Yeah, let's say right
It's
now.
got to be something with AI. I reckon like if I was like, what do I start right now? It's got to be something to do with AI. whether it be like you're someone that's utilizing AI to create something that makes my day easier in whatever form it may be. As an example,
Mhm.
you're creating some form of software. I think that would have to be probably something easy that you can do, but also it's going to stick around. Because like if you were to say SEO, brother,
Okay.
it's changing so quickly. Like you have to be already in it
Yeah.
to really be running with it, I think. But if you can do something with AI, mate, yeah, you'd be laughing. Plus, you got AI to help you do something with AI.
Oh, that's really great advice, no? Because like for example on YouTube, so there's only few YouTube channel that has like 100,000 subscribers, right? And it's really hard to make content if you're only focusing with SEO content, right? Like
Mm.
Julian Goldie, the one that you interviewed before, has 100,000 plus subscriber because he's also focusing with AI content, right?
Yeah.
He got another question. Fantastic answer. Thank you. You mentioned AI content. Does your team use AI tools to ensure the quality of their task?
Yeah, no worries, Yusuf. Glad I could help, mate. Yeah, 100%. We do use AI. So predominantly, like I can't remember which blog it was. Maybe like roofing SEO. It wasn't roofing. Maybe carpet cleaning SEO. I ranked that with Chat GPT number one in the US, and I was like, huh, this ranks. Okay, maybe I'll save my $3,500 a month on content. So we pretty much have cut away all organic content. Now, what we do, like I'll tell you the strategy of how we do it. Everything, every AI piece of content is still optimized. So
Okay.
it's always thrown into some optimization tool. So, as an example, whether it be perhaps, let's just say along the lines of you using Neuron Writer or Page Optimizer Pro. So, we'll
Mm-hmm.
use Page Optimizer Pro, we'll use that. And then from there, like your main service pages, that's what we're using. Blogs, Neuron Writer. We'll throw all of the keywords, all the designated titles, we throw all of that in to help ZimWriter, ChatGPT create the content. Then we throw it back in, do a quick optimization and launch it. And then we sit back. And if it starts taking and running, cool. You'll normally find it's going to sort of probably sit. It might go straight to number one, it might go to 10, 20. And once it sits, once you know where it stagnates, that's when it's time to bring in the organic. So that's when we'll get someone to start rehashing and revamping the content with the organic, like, just a little sprinkle, a nice little touch up.
Perfect. Thank you so much, mate. My mother is watching. Hi, mom. Thank you for watching.
G'day, mate.
Yeah,
You
my
got a
daughter is.
lovely son.
Yeah, my daughter as well. She's watching. Right
Oh,
now,
beautiful.
I enrolled her to a business class. So she's 11 years old, and right now she's asking, how can digital nomads attract high-paying clients?
You're definitely going to have to ask your father about that, mate.
maybe maybe she wants an insights from you.
um, look, like attracting the biggest. It's a good question because I gave Goldie the tip when Goldie had me on his thing. The biggest thing I would say is go to a really expensive gym. You go to the most expensive gym in your area, you will
Okay.
only muck around with individuals that can afford to be there. And the gym, especially as a bloke, like if you're a man, it's great. Like it's always better doing. I'm not going to sit down and do drinking. I don't drink, but I'm never going to sit down in a bar with someone. Nah. But I'll go play golf with them. I'll go play
Okay.
squash, tennis, badminton, like halas. Like that's what you'll do. You catch up with me. We're going to play some sort of sport. That's great for men. For women, it can still be like a socialized settings. So trying to go somewhere, especially if you're looking obviously for female, male partners, whatever it may be, definitely go to where the most expensive people hang out. Your high paying clients are going to be in certain areas. And you know immediately off the top of your head, where's all the money at? Well, it's not at just
Mm,
the local pub. Like in there's the plumbers, in the money's not in the local pub. It's
true.
elsewhere. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I also learned excellent tips on SEO plus AI. Thank you so much, Habibi. All right.
Shukran, brother.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways on how you can make money online, right? And there's
Mm.
also a lot of reasons why you can be failed at doing that. So like in choosing the right business for you, what's your best tip? No, best tip, like because some people they start doing this thing because this is their craft, no, this are their, it's their passion. But some people don't have this passion. Like for example, I want to do e-commerce, but I don't have passion selling those products. So what can you say about that?
I would say definitely stick to what you know. And the reason I say that is because I guarantee you, if you become successful and you're making money, you'll become passionate. Like, I've never met someone that's like, you'll become passionate eventually, because what will happen is you'll start to eliminate the stuff that you don't enjoy
True.
to others. Like, I hate creating content. I don't like it at all, man. I don't like writing out blogs. I don't like writing. Like, the first thing I did, like, that's what my most hated thing about SEO, bro. Like, I don't like writing content. First thing I did was hire content writers. And that's what you got to do once you start becoming successful. But I know SEO. So I was able to stick to something where I'm like, oh, I could do this and I can make some money from this. And once I start making some money, I'll get someone to do the stuff I don't like. And you can be rest assured that you'll have money coming into the bank account if you know what you're doing, if you're doing
Mhm.
something that you know what you're doing, compared to something that you don't know what you're doing. If you're like, I would love to be, I don't know, let's just say, I would absolutely love to be a YouTuber, a full-time YouTuber. It's like, but you've never dabbled in that world. How do you know you'll like it? Because even when I got started into YouTube, I was like, damn, so many things behind the scenes that you
Okay.
don't know about. So that's why I'd say, if you want to achieve success the fastest way possible, the most probable way possible, definitely align it with something that you know and you're good at.
Yeah, that's true. Because like we are doing these things online and long term, right? So if you like what you do, then you can stay ahead, or you can stay on that thing for like years or a decade, right? Because you love what you do.
Mm,
All right.
exactly, brother.
Yusuf, building on Shania's question, would you recommend running search and social media ads to attract higher paying clients?
Um, I'm going to be honest, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't run ads. I haven't had to run ads for years for myself. Like, I've been blessed like that.
Wow.
So yeah, to be honest, man, like, I don't know. Apparently Facebook is all right. Run Facebook is meant to be pretty good. Business partner he runs the PPC side of Osborne Digital Marketing, and he
Okay.
loves his running some Facebook ads for attracting clients. But I've got no idea myself personally, mate, to be honest. Main thing for me is like meet people. Like people, like, it's like go out there and just meet people, and halas, like it always works out. It
Mhm.
always works out. Someone will know someone, and you just constantly are always asking.
Yeah, because I know, I also noticed that when we met in Manila, you you're kind of the you're kind of a person that I can talk to, share something, and easy to go with. So I'm sure you can get more clients by doing that.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah,
Oddly in me.
networking. Mm. So you're traveling a lot, no, and you use a lot of productivity tools and hacks, no. So what are you must have, or what are your must have tools for remote work?
Laptop, laptop,
Best internet
good,
connection.
100% good internet, microphone. Big thing I'd suggest to everyone too is like, how much does it suck when you're sitting on the other end of a phone call and you can't hear the person properly?
True.
Microphone, invest in that, and possibly a camera. If you're going to be doing a lot of client to interviews, get a proper camera, because if you use your webcam, it's a little bit ugly, doesn't capture you in the best light, doesn't capture your emotions like a good camera does, like the one Kirk and I've got now. Like, it's just a little bit better. That's definitely something that I would suggest.
Hmm. So about managing your team, what tools and software you use?
There's multiple things you can use, but I'd strongly suggest something like WhatsApp. I like that quick, like once a task. So the way I
Yeah.
do things normally is everyone runs off a Google sheet. So they have
Okay.
their sheet with their
Google
monthly tasks. So
Okay.
we run off like, this is what you've got to do in the month. So for the month of January, these are your objectives. this needs to be hit. But then what we have is we have basic ops where we're running, it's like the, what was it? Trello, like their, project dashboard. You can drag things around. That's cool, but it's more of like a reminder. And when someone's approaching, perhaps they have a question, like they take it all the way up to the chain, but then they'll address me immediately on WhatsApp. And if I'm free, I'll answer, the lowliest content writer as an example. If they have a question about pop, I'll answer it. So I think if you're going to manage your team, make sure that maybe some people don't like that. I know some people that, if I had a team of 30 people as an example, I probably wouldn't run that way. I would have my organizational, like my team leaders, they would be able to hit me up on WhatsApp, but it wouldn't really be the boots on the ground that are constantly contacting me on WhatsApp. So it just depends on how big your team is. But WhatsApp's enough if you've just got a small team. You can have something like Basic Ops, Asana. Those are all pretty good. Yeah, what's that? A lot of people are using the other one now, Notion. I haven't tried Notion, but apparently
Mhm.
that's all right too.
Yeah, Notion is great as well. WhatsApp, I like that. Easy to communicate. You can also add your voice there. You can receive it
Love
instantly.
it, bro. Voice note, like I love it. I am the voice note king, brother. I'm always sending voice notes. Yeah.
I guess that's also the reason why a lot of people using WhatsApp for
Yeah.
voice messaging.
Easier, man. It's easy. You can
Yeah.
explain something in detail. If someone's not ready to listen to it right now,
Uh
they'll listen to it later on.
yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of things I can express when I use audio compared to like a chatting. Like for example, I'm doing something now and then I cannot type, so it's easier for me to send a conversation via audio.
Exactly. Exactly. It gets things a lot clearer. I love audio for that, man. I love it.
Yeah. So for you, this digital nomad lifestyle, is it long term, or is it sustainable for long term, or what?
Great question, Kirk. Look, I think yay and nay. I'm that guy. Like, I don't like the government telling me what to do. I'm that guy, brother. I was in the army. I saw that they don't care about us. Why should we care about them? So my attitude is we go where, we're going to be looked after and we have the best options. Right now, for me, that's the Middle East. Like I'll plan on staying there, raising my family in the Middle East. Inshallah, everything goes well, but perhaps something happens, then I'll move elsewhere. I think if I've never met someone that's been able to sustain it long term where they
Okay.
don't have a home base. Like I knew a chick a while ago. She was my ex's like good mate, and she just traveled the world, loved it. She was just constantly everywhere else, but it just burned her out. And now she's just back in the UAE. She's back in Dubai, just doing nothing because it just cooked her. She's just like, all right, I'm done now. Now she's working a 9 to 5 job, like done the opposite, like she was like, nah, got to get away, got to do this, got to, and then has come straight back 9 to 5 job. Like it's full turnaround. And that was the only person that I've ever seen go really hard with it. And I don't know anyone that hasn't got a home base, brother. I think you have to have a home base.
Yeah, for you that's sustainable, right? So yeah,
Exactly,
it's very
man. Yeah. Yeah. I
mm.
don't want to be too hard on the kids and the missus and all that. I want to make sure that I'm there when everyone needs me and I'm able to do what I can do. Um, so I just think it'd be too hard. But if living, like I'll never live in Australia again. I can't see myself returning to Australia
Yeah.
like I come back obviously for family,
Hmm.
but not for living. Why? It's expensive. The
Oh,
place is it's disgusting here, bro. It's ridiculous here. Houses, everything. It's just a joke here, man. So
you're really honest.
yeah, it's the truth. I'm telling everyone. I'm like, just leave. Like I'm seeing all my mates. I'm like, what are you doing here, man? Like you own your house, you've got no debt. Halas, move overseas. Have a maid with you full time. Like go spend time with the kids. Like you are working. Like I have multiple mates that own their homes, have no debt. Maybe they've got $1 million in the bank. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing here? Like, go. They're slaving away, man. They don't have any time with their kids. Husband and wife both work. And it's like, what are you doing, brother? Like, that's not life, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
Mm.
So this digital nomad thing and also being working at 9 to 5 job is completely different, right? So there's a lot, or there's a biggest mind shift for that. So you need to prepare for that one as well. What for you? What could be those mindset shift from 9 to 5 to digital nomad?
Be ready for failure, probably. Like just prepare yourself because it's probably not going to work out the way you intended it. It does take a lot longer, and just be quite resilient. Like make sure you got a plan. Like make sure you at least have a direction that you want to be running into. And the reason I say that is because if you're like, I'm done with work, I'm done with the 9 to 5 life, like to have that mentality, you've got a very unique and different mentality. If you want to switch into being a business owner, like I said, like every single business that's been successful for me is because I literally sacrificed everything. Like I had to give up so it was the only way I achieved it. Now, perhaps other individuals are smarter than me and they'll able to halve it, not work as hard, but I've always found everyone I know that's, made it to the top of success, they've given up something, whether it be the health, whether it be the family, whether like money, whatever it may be in their field, they've always had to sacrifice something. So just also prepare for that. With the 9 to 5,
So,
you know what your schedule is. You don't really need to sacrifice a lot because you know what your schedule is. But
that's
yeah, but with the uncertainty of everything, just be prepared to sacrifice.
yeah, totally true. So if you could give your younger self, for example, a one piece of advice, what would it be?
It'll all work out in the end, as God intended, mate. To be honest, there was a lot of times, bro. I look back over my life. There were times. Perfect example is a telecom company. So we used to connect like 30, 50,000 homes to the internet. Like we're not talking about small stuff we did. We did big, big jobs. One of those jobs, I had 3 sleepless nights because of this. We
Mm.
connected up this entire area. It was 33,000 homes, 32,000 homes. I can't remember. It was around there. Everything was wrong. And they were blaming it, like the Australian government was blaming it on us, saying that it was us and we're going to have to go in and rectify everything. And I was like, this will bankrupt my company. It'll bankrupt me. It'll bankrupt, like, it would have been huge, like months and months of work. Would have had to pay for damages for people being off the air. Like, we're talking millions of dollars, maybe 10, $15 million it would have cost the rectification. I didn't sleep for 2 days, bro.
Mm.
And turns out it was the Australian government's fault, NBN's fault. They did not give us all the correct details. We ran off all the sheets that we were given. It was an easy switch because we just gave them back the original sheets, like documents, because there's specific ports and connections that you need to do things on, so to speak. So it's like this house goes to that one, that house goes to this one. We did it to their plans. We proved that. Like I had to go into a big meeting in the city. There was fucking lawyers in there from NBN side. It was nuts, dude. It was nuts. I was shit myself. And I was like, oh. And I remember they're like, oh, this is our mistake. Oh, we'll rectify this. And I was like, I just didn't sleep for 48 hours because I was about to, pay $10 million in damages because it could have
Mhm.
been us. It was horrible, man. But now looking back, I'm like, nah, I should have just been confident. Even if I did have to pay damages, it'll be fine. I'd still bounce back anyway. I'd do something different, my SEO.
Yeah. So since you mentioned about SEO, for you, what could be the future of SEO?
I don't reckon there is much of a future, brother. Like, I'm going to be the negative dude. I've always been good at calling the ends of industries. So I think what's going to happen with SEO is local's going to be the only thing that's going to stick around for a while. I think organic is absolutely dead. Like it's on the side of the road, bro. It's just been hit by a truck. She's dying. Like she is dying. She's on the way out. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to start to incorporate ads into the AI snippets very soon. I reckon that's going to happen very, very soon. So then
Okay.
we won't know what's organic and what is paid. So they'll sneak in. If I go top 5 plumbers near me, they'll sneak in some paid ads. That's what I think is going to happen. So the way you'll be good with SEO, I think, is the only way is with maps. Like, I think you want to get really squared on maps. I think that's going to stay around for a long time. The reason I think that is because me to this day, I still will look at maps and go, how far is that barber? How far is that bloke away from me? That restaurant, like, oh, I'm looking for a plumber. How quick's he going to get to me? He's all the way over there. I don't want that bloke. I want the bloke that's just up the road from me. So I think that's it'll be around for a while. Maps, local SEO. I think organic though, man, I think that's like as dead as a dead dingo's donger. Like, she's out of here, bro.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. No. Yeah. One last question because I know it's 8 p.m. there, right? And for you,
Almost,
what
yeah, man.
for you, what could be your best advice for those people who are struggling with their business, and also to those who are successful already?
Biggest advice would be definitely find someone to help you. So I thought I knew it all. And then I started working with now my business partner, Benny. I've known him for 12 years. And I was growing my company, thought I was doing everything right. Man, like, having a business coach was something that really not turned it around, because it was just every year for me up. It was 1 million, 1.6, 2.4, 3 million. Like, it just kept going up. But the thing was, it was me. Like, all of a sudden, there were all these other problems, man, that I didn't know I had to deal with. And it was like overwhelming. And sometimes, like that problem that I didn't sleep for 48 hours on, I look back at that and go, having Benny was really good when there were other times there were problems, because I'd call him and be like, bro, like, you wouldn't believe what's happened. This has happened. He's like, yeah, but is it your fault? And is it something you can control? He's like, well, it's not my fault and I can't control it. Then why are you stressing,
Mm,
man? And you're like,
yeah.
yeah, what the fuck am I stressing? What's going on here? So I definitely suggest get a business coach if possible. Work with someone that don't work with any business coach. Like, don't just jump on Google and be like, find the guy up the top. No, halas. You got to be like, I want to build $1 million company. You've got to find a business coach that's had and built $1 million company. You have to, and they have to be able to talk the talk too. Like, if they're sitting there being like, oh yeah, well, this is what you do to make a business. It's like, bro, have you made $1 million, 2 million, 3 million? Like, if you haven't done that, then don't work with them. That's the biggest thing that I'd say. I worked with Benny because he had 7 radiology clinics around like with the area that I lived. I was like, damn, this guy's killing it. He's doing real well. So I worked with him. He helped me get to the multi-millions. Beautiful. So, and that's what I think, like he said, I remember he said when he's like, when you start getting past $2 million, you're going to have all of these different problems. I'm like what? And he's like, you're going to need to start hiring team leaders to start managing a lot more of your team. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's like he put that system and problem that I was going to face in my head, made me aware of it. So as I did approach that point, it's like, damn, I'm getting to the point where I can no longer handle this. I need someone else to start stepping in and taking care of the HFC side. That's what happens. And I've just been able to carry that all the way through. So definitely, if it's not a coach, if it's not a business consultant, make sure that it's a good friend that's like on the same level as you. So if someone else has a SEO agency as an example, maybe have a look at setting up something and going, listen, like, this is where I'm at. This is where you're at. Chat with your mate and just be like, listen, bro, I've had this opportunity and I didn't go after this. And then they're going to be able to pick it apart on things that you've missed. And it's not from a bad point of view. It's an accountability point of view. They'll be able to be like, listen, dude, like, you should have done this, this, and this.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest tip I could tell anyone, man, is definitely work with a coach or a consultant.
That's really great advice. So, yeah, I also recommend that start with having a mentor who someone is doing this for like years now. No.
Super important, man. Like, how much time does it save you too? Like, that's it. I reckon Benny, Like he likes to say that all of my success has been because of him, but there's a lot of things, man, that like a lot of decisions I would have made and wouldn't have made because of him. So it gets you there quicker, and you kind of rest a little bit easier knowing it's lonely up the top. That's another thing too. Like when you are the business owner, you can't, let's say a contractor pulls, they cancel an SEO contract. I can't tell my team, be like, guys, I don't know how I'm going to pay the bills. We've just lost 2 clients. You can't do that, but you can
Yeah.
talk about that with your mate. It's super important to have someone up there with you, coach or consultant or a mate that's on the same level. Super important.
Wow, that's really great advice. Ronald, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And maybe is there something you can share or you can, I know, say before we go?
I
Or
just want to say
yeah,
thank you to.
you have a business to share or to promote here. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, if you guys want to reach out to me, you can look up just Ronald Osborne, how it's spelt there. Just come have a look at the ronaldosborne.org website. You can have a chat with me there. Follow me on the socials if you want. But I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming along and watching Kirk's. And I think because I really appreciate your valuable time tonight. And thank you, Kirk. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Ronald. Hope to talk to you again soon. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. Take care. Have a good night.
See you guys. Thank you.